Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gaming Lounge Podcast, episode 107. Once again, I'm your host, Sebastian, and as always, I'm joined by Dory. How you doing, Dory?
I'm pissed. I had a really funny, totally humorous, absolutely hilarious knee slapper of an intro where you were going to tell me a super interesting story, and I was going to say in a monotone voice, okay, and then that was going to sum up Beast of Reincarnation. But now I can't make that joke because we got more Kingdom Hearts 4 news. God damn it, I'm so oppressed in this society. But yeah, welcome back everybody to another episode. We are obviously going to be talking about all the KH4 news that has dropped in the past couple days. Seb and I have been living, so I'm very excited to talk about that. But before we get to that, a lot of previews have been dropping because of D23 and Gamescom, and they're just dropping in general. So we're going to talk about Star Wars Zero Company, Marvel's Wolverine. And then we're also going to talk about a couple reviews. I already mentioned Beast of Reincarnation, but we're also going to talk about Marvel Tokon. And for our finale, we will talk about Kingdom Hearts 4, which was revealed even more at D23, which is a Disney presentation, as well as a panel that literally just got done about a half an hour ago. So, or less, actually.
Yeah. It was a pretty wild week for video game news and gameplay showcases, considering there was no showcase this week, and Gamescom is a couple of weeks away. So, like, the fact that, like, you would think, like, a lot of companies would be waiting for Gamescom, which is right around the corner, because we're going to have an opening night live show with Jeff Keighley and all that. You would think that they would wait, but no, this week was just chock full of gameplay. So the first one was Star Wars Zero Company, which got a bunch of previews, and the reaction has been extremely positive. I watched several reviews, or previews rather, of the game and read several articles, and they were very, very highly praising the game. So let's talk about it. So what is it? It is a Star Wars game made by EA. It's basically it's a Star Wars XCOM game, and you play as Hawks, who's a customizable former Republic officer. And yeah, after being scapegoated for a failed military option, he forms an independent mercenary unit called Zero Company, and basically he helps fight in the Clone Wars. It takes place during the Clone Wars, and he fights a mysterious shadow plague spreading cult known as the Infinite Coil. And we got to see the way you can customize Hawks. Like, it's fully customizable. There's so many options. You can fully customize your own crew. Like, they have all different species, and you can customize how they look and things like that. You can hire people, and then customize those hired people. And the story was really impressive. The dialogue was really impressive. The animation was really impressive. It felt like a high quality game. It has the same writer, the same narrative writer as Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, and you can see the difference. And they were going for more of an Andor, more serious, grounded spy thriller kind of Star Wars story, and you definitely feel it here. This feels like an adult Star Wars game. Like, even the it takes place during the Clone Wars, right? Like, obviously, if you besides the movies, when you think of Clone Wars, you think of like the cartoon series, the animated series that we got on Cartoon Network. This has the same like characters as it has Anakin in it, and the clones and the droids and all that, but it makes it a lot more adult and more serious looking. It feels like a Disney Plus like live action show that has like a big budget, $1 million budget. So Dory, right off the bat, what did you think of like the premise or like the visuals of this game?
Yeah, I mean, Andor is one of my favorite Star Wars media ever. I think it's
Yeah.
such a perfect show. It really leaves you wanting more after 2 seasons, I think. I wanted more, but
No,
they
yeah, it's perfect. It's
they
where they
stopped there.
stopped. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was such a good move by them. And to take inspiration from that, I mean, it can only be a good thing, really. It's such a rich resource and such a
Yeah.
great genre to pull from in terms of the thriller and spy genre and stuff like that. I, I'm a bit mixed on the Clone Wars as a time period because I don't really like the movie, but I do love the
Mm.
Netflix TV show or Disney Plus TV show, whatever you want to call it at this point.
Yeah.
Um, I love that show. I think it's great. So but I do think even though I don't like Clone Wars as a movie, the concept of it and the themes and the characters that are available in that specific time period of Star Wars are
Yeah.
so iconic. They're so cool. There's so many cool plot threads you can pull on in really cool, satisfying ways. I don't think the movie did that, but I think the video game can,
Yeah. Well,
because I think
yeah. Well, the irony of the Attack of the Clones and the Clone Wars was the 99% of the Clone Wars was not in the movies. It was all like on the cartoon show, like the animated show.
yeah,
And like the Attack of Clones only shows like the beginning of it. So that's the irony. Is the show itself basically saves the prequel series, the prequel trilogy. You know what I mean? People have a lot more fondness for the prequel trilogy because of the Clone Wars show, because it developed all the characters, including Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship, way better than the movies did. So like that series saved it. So the Clone Wars is an awesome like time period in Star Wars. I would argue it's probably overdone at this point. I mean, we've seen so much series and games
there's so
of
much
it.
between A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith, and just like
Yeah,
that. I was like looking at all the media properties that happen chronologically,
yeah,
and like we have dried that well at this point.
yeah,
But and I agree with you too about the Clone Wars. Like we have really the Clone Wars TV show is like 6 seasons or something like that,
yeah,
and it's super long. There's a lot of episodes in each season, at least 20-ish episodes per season.
yeah,
And not to mention the movie, and then there's the animated movie that everyone forgets also happened. So
yeah,
it's just like we have done it. We've done a lot with the Clone Wars. We can go somewhere else. The Old Republic is still you could do still so much with the Old Republic.
yeah.
You could do stuff after. I know they probably won't for reasons, but you could do stuff after
The,
Skywalker,
Rise of the
whatever,
Skywalker,
Rise of Sky,
the
whatever
sequel
the hell it's
trilogy,
called.
the sequel
Yeah,
trilogy.
the sequel trilogy. You could do stuff after that. I feel like the prequel trilogy time period and the time period between the first and the second period is just so done at this point.
Yeah,
I'm not saying we don't do anything. I'm just saying it feels like, good to go to your point, that we've done a lot. But I'm
yeah,
not I'm not hating on the game. I think it looks really great.
yeah,
To answer your question, I like what they're pulling from. And
yeah,
the biggest takeaway I had, and the biggest question I had, how much is this going to be like XCOM? XCOM has notable, pretty tough difficulty, some pretty unforgiving permadeath mechanics. Um, it's known for being tough. 98% and you miss, like that kind of meme as well feeds into that narrative of it being a hard game. So
yeah,
all that taken into account, I'm like, okay, how is this game going to be? And then
yeah,
I just played Tactical Breach Wizards, which I loved, which was more accessible. And before I played Wintermore Tactics, which is again is another accessible uh, tactical RPG. And so I'm like, okay, if it's accessible and it's Star Wars, I'm in. I'm probably there.
I
And lo and
yeah,
behold, at least the IGN preview, I don't know about the other ones you looked at. I only looked at the IGN preview. Are
yeah,
saying it's generally accessible. I mean, it's not. There's
yeah,
still tough parts to it. It's not a stroll in the park, but it's accessible, and that
yeah.
really was my big question mark.
Yeah, that's what I've seen from the previews. That there is general accessibility for newcomers. Like I'm sure there's gonna be difficulty options and things like that. Accessibility options. It's gonna be a hard game. I don't think it's gonna be XCOM hard. Cause I think with Star Wars you have to appeal to a mass audience, and you want your game to be accessible and have difficulty options at the very least. Like the Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, that game is tough, like pretty tough, right? Because you play at a higher difficulty. The boss
Yeah,
fights,
especially if you play on Jedi Grandmaster.
yeah. So, but that game has a good balance too. I think like it's not too tough. I mean, you can play on easy mode too and enjoy the game. So, play the game however you want. But yeah, so we got some game. We got plenty of gameplay to look at from these previews, and we got to see the class-based system. We got to see how you position your characters, the mechanics, and all the environmental covers, and uh, and we got to see like how the game operates in terms of levels. Like you don't just jump into a mission; you can actually like walk around a little like hub area first. And I don't mean like you do have your own main hub, which we'll talk about, but I mean like in the level itself, There's like a little, you'd be like a little town area, and you can talk to other NPCs, and they have like a whole dialogue and everything like that. And then and then it jumps into the mission itself. So I thought that was really cool as well. I didn't know anything about that until the previews. But yeah, there is a big main hub in this game called the Den, and that's where you form bonds with your crew, and you see a lot of dialogue and a lot of scenes from the previews about like the characters, discussing what was going on and all that, and it was really well voice acted. The character models were very impressive. It looked like a high quality AAA game, like there was actually emotion in their faces. It wasn't stiff. It wasn't like Beast of Reincarnation's character models when there's an emotion. Um, like I was very impressed. It felt like Mass Effect. Like it was that level of quality writing. And Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor had that too. You could tell it was the same writers or same writer at least. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know the person's name, but like it makes sense because EA did both of them, right? And it seems like EA has put more effort into the Star Wars games, less more so than Ubisoft anyway. Um, anyway, what'd you think of? Did you see any of the main hub stuff, or the characters talking to each other, or any cutscenes like that? Did you see any of that? You're on mute.
Oh, I did that classic thing.
Classic Dory.
So yeah, I saw some of it.
Yeah.
I saw some of the cutscenes from IGN. I
Hmm.
don't remember them blowing me away. But yeah, I mean, I do like how the character models look. I like how the graphics look in general. It's like you said before, it's more like gritty, realistic tone that we don't always get in Star Wars. Sometimes we get that high fantasy, high heroism kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But here it's more rough and tumble, realistic, gritty. You've got cover and fire and all the classics of these kind of XCOM like games, tactical RPGs. Um, but yeah, I didn't see a ton in terms of like story. I saw that you could talk to characters in between missions and stuff like that. I thought that was cool because you don't always get that kind of stuff in strategy games because
Yeah.
obviously one of the main things is you're focusing on strategy. When I was talking about tactical breach wizards, that was one of my favorite part is that they made the characters talk right at the beginning of every mission, and sometimes even between levels within the mission, and then also they would talk after, and they felt like really fleshed out, funny characters. In Tactical Breach Wizards, obviously, given the name and the kind of comedic writing it's going for, it's a lot less serious than Zero Company.
Right. So we got to see how you can upgrade your facilities. We got to see like black markets and droid repair stations. They showed weapon mods that you can buy. They showed you talking to your crewmates, as I said, and then there's a holo table where there's optional missions as well, and you strengthen your the bonds between your characters, and you get combat focus points, and you get permanent cross training bonuses as well. There's also a permadeath mechanic in this game, which is entirely optional. And a lot of the previews highlighted that keeping permadeath on turns on like turned on like completely changes the storyline. Like you can have a completely different storyline if your character died. So people can have different playthroughs and different storylines and things like that. So I thought that was really cool. Dory, are you gonna use permadeath or?
I'm not sure, honestly. I might. Is it toggleable? Can you like turn it on and then turn it
Yeah,
off,
you can turn it
or?
on. Yeah, it's optional. You don't have to have it.
I think I'll turn it on by default, and then if it gets to be too much, I might turn it off because I feel like permadeath is a big part of these kind of games. Again, mostly due to XCOM. I know XCOM, by the way, is not the only tactical RPG. It's just
Yeah,
the
this is
the one I most people
yeah.
think of.
It,
But
it reminds me of also of Fire Emblem, which is like Nintendo's big
right,
strategy game, and there's permadeath in that game, and like the whole storyline changes if your character dies and stuff like
yeah.
that. So
So I think to capture the spirit of it, I think I'll probably play on normal and have permadeath on at first.
yeah,
But if it proves to be too much or too frustrating, I am curious, like what happens, like if your character dies, do you get a character that's at that same level with equivalent equipment, or do they have worse equipment? Like, do you have to work them back up? Like that, that could be frustrating if handled the wrong way.
yeah. It's probably gonna be the latter, though. I would imagine you probably have to rebuild it up. It's realistic, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
One last thing, in terms of the game, there was some the previews mentioned like minor bugs and technical hitches and some clunky menu navigation. Although they were playing an early preview build, and hopefully with the game coming out in a couple weeks, there's gonna be some patches that will fix all that stuff for us when we start playing it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's coming out August 27th. It's $50, which is I think it seems like a great price for this game, and
Yep.
it's coming out on everything but the Switch, so a lot of people can play it. I'm very excited for this game. Obviously I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I play every Star Wars game, but I think it looks like a AAA high quality game. I'm very impressed by what I saw, and I think a lot of the previews were extremely positive. So I was already day one, but now I'm like 100% guaranteed day one for sure.
Yeah. I think for me, the accessibility was the big question. And now that it's been answered, although I don't like supporting EA, it's not like I do it very often. So I am probably day one as well. Seb and I would normally share a game like this, but EA is being EA means you
Yeah,
can't, right?
no,
So I'll probably buy it day one, or I'll wait for a sale. I'm not gonna immediately buy it. I am gonna wait on reviews. I want to see if those bugs have been worked out. I want to see throughout the entire course of the campaign, is it still approachable, accessible? I'm not saying I want it to be easy. I'm just saying I don't want it to be soul crushingly hard either.
yeah,
So
yeah.
something in between, please.
Plus, you can probably get it on sale like on the Key website for even less than $50. So probably like
Yeah,
40 something, I would think.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I haven't looked for this one. And when it gets close, like I say I'm day one, but like when I say day one, I mean like if the reviews are good, I'm definitely getting it. But if it's like like a 6.5 out of 65 on Metacritic or something, then yeah, I won't get it, of course. But unlike other games that we're gonna talk about. All right. Uh, is there anything else you want to talk about, or are you ready to move on?
Just that I'm really happy that this game is shaping up to be really good.
Yeah.
I don't play a lot of tactical RPGs, but I'm willing to give this a shot. Of course, Star Wars is one of my favorite franchises of all time. So I'm very excited for a different spin on this. I'm glad EA is experimenting and doing something in a totally different like genre and focus for Star Wars. Of course, they have had tactical based RPGs before, with like Star Wars Empire and stuff like that, or like those were like city builders or whatever. I can't quite remember. Those were like the 90s and 2000s. They had a couple of like battle simulator type Star Wars
Yeah,
games because those were popular
they
back then.
had Empire at War. I think that
The
was
Empire at War, thank you. I
was
couldn't
it
remember
like
the name.
2010, 2008? So it was like I feel it was like late
Something like that.
2000s, early 2010s or something.
Yeah, so almost 20 years ago now. So it's good to see them kind of come back to that and give a different genre, subgenre within Star Wars. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it looks great, and you get to play as Anakin, which they announced, so that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I wonder like if he plays a major part or is he just kind of like a random mission or is he just is I don't know. I wonder how much he ties into the actual storyline.
Yeah,
All right, let's move on to Marvel's Wolverine, which comes out next month. This also got a bunch of previews and gameplay showcase. And we got to see more gameplay, of course. We got to see more like of the combat, more so with him like as Logan and not in the costume. And we got to see the rage mechanic in the game. Of course, it's Wolverine. Of course, he's gonna have rage mechanic in the game. And it's you basically when you land a bunch of consecutive attacks, it builds a three-tiered rage bar. And those, when you reach that tier, like you unlock his like rage ability, and it's what you expect, right? And then they also showed like the parrying in this game. If you hover your finger over the L1 button, there's timing based parries, which are very important, and you do counterattacks from the parrying. And then we got to see the mobility. Obviously being Wolverine, he's a small but really bulky guy, and he's not Spider-Man, of course. So it's like, how do you pull that? How you pull off the fast combat with a character like Wolverine? Well, he's able to do like a charged leap via holding the L2 button down, and he closed very large distances by pouncing onto his targets. So Dory, what did you think of the? Did you watch any of this gameplay, like the rage and all that? What did you think of it?
yeah. I mostly watched the IGN one just because that's the one I'm subscribed to, and I didn't see it anywhere else in terms of previews on my subscriptions list. But yeah, I mean, I liked what I saw. I think folks are just gonna have to settle themselves that Wolverine is not going to be like Spider-Man, nor should he. Wolverine and Spider-Man are aiming for very different things, especially this version of Wolverine and that version of Spider-Man. This
Yeah,
version of Wolverine is very basic, very feral, very very bloody
yeah,
and violent. I think that people want a more complicated play style similar to Spidey that we got in 1 and Miles Morales in 2, which I loved, but I just don't think Wolverine is as made for. I'm not saying they couldn't do it. I'm not trying to make excuses for them, but I think that it's harder to do that with Wolverine because his claws kind of rip people apart.
yeah,
And it's hard to combo them 5 times after in 10 different flashy ways when they're a torso
yeah,
swinging around in the air. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So,
yeah. Because like Spider-Man uses a bunch of gadgets, why Wolverine doesn't. Wolverine, Wolverine's just the guy that uses claws and he heals. Like
yep.
that's the main thing. So obviously you can only do so much. Yeah, I wasn't like blown away by the gameplay from what I'm seeing in the previews. Like it doesn't feel like it's gonna be like a 95 on Metacritic or anything. It just doesn't feel like it's gonna be like a game of the year, like insanely great game. But it doesn't have to be. I'm still very excited for it, and I'll have a great time with it. Really, for me, it's the gameplay is gonna be good. It really comes down to the story and like the narrative of the game combined with the gameplay. If I'm invested in the story and the gameplay is good enough, like it's gonna be a really good. It's gonna be a great game for me. So, like I'm pretty confident. I'm still confident in that at the very least. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't blow me away. It's not like when I first saw The Last of Us Part Two's gameplay. I was like, oh my god, this is like the next step for third person shooters.
I do
I don't
think
see that here.
the rage mechanic is really cool, and you already explained it, but just to reiterate, basically, if you die while you're still angry or you still have the rage meter, you'll come back up with your rage meter replacing your health. And if you die without a rage meter, you just die completely, which is very funny because it basically means Wolverine is either too angry to die or he feels nothing and he dies. But that's very funny to me.
Yeah,
Very relatable as a millennial.
yeah,
Um, but also, I mean, you can kind of go. This was interesting. This is kind of like Ghost of Tsushima, right? I don't know if it made you think of that, but
mm,
or Ghost of Yote when your rage meter hits all three, you can. I think you can press both analog sticks in or some shit. You can basically go Kratos or whatever you want to say
yeah,
on them, and you just fucking demolish
yeah,
enemies.
yeah. That's what I was talking
And
about.
that was
Yeah,
really cool. The screen goes
yeah,
black and white. All the blood is showered on Logan, and it's obviously it's red. The colors of the enemies stand out, so that way you can still tell where they are. I
yeah.
thought that was really cool.
Yeah, yeah, that was really cool. It reminded me of Kratos and God of War. I mean, obviously
Yep.
Wolverine's older than Kratos, like as a character, but like the concept of it, because Sony owns both of them, so in terms of the games, and yeah, like that's what I was getting the rage mechanic in God of War, which is awesome. So I thought that was cool. Let's talk about some of the other aspects of the game. Like first, for example, the game is said to be a wide linear game. So like it's not going to be like open world or anything like that. Like it's not going to be like Spider-Man. You can fly around the city, swing around the city and all that, but it is like it does have open areas. I think it's going to be like The Last of Us Part 2, right? Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it was clearly linear, but you had enough area to explore. And basically this game's going to have a bunch of whiskey bottles scattered around the game, and they're like hidden. You collect them, and they're like the primary currency to upgrade Wolverine's health pool and the healing factors. So like that's like the equivalent of like in God of War when you find the chest with the objects that give you a bigger health bar. There's also hidden crates that contain raw materials, and you use those to unlock a variety of alternate Wolverine suits and cosmetic gear for him. And then they also said there is a nightmare door. Like basically, there's optional challenge portals, like pretty much after the game, to do. So like, there's probably gonna be a lot of challenge modes, and I'm gonna. It's I guess the best way to compare it to is like the Valkyries in God of War. It's probably gonna be difficult in comparison. And was there anything like that in Spider-Man? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Like the
There was the
bases.
Taskmaster challenges and getting gold and stuff like that, but I mean, if you want to go way back, Seb, and celebrate the classic, Spider-Man 2 had a warehouse where you could fight a bunch of supervillains at the same time. I remember playing the shit out of that.
You mean the
Um,
movie one, like in like
yeah,
2004?
the movie one. Sorry, the
Yeah,
movie one. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I do remember
But
that.
no, I don't think there's anything like that in any of the new Insomniac Spider-Man games.
Yeah. So that's a cool concept, and that's like if I chase the platinum and if it's reasonable, which I probably will if it's reasonable, then I'll be doing those, I'm sure. All right, and then the last thing that I saw from the previews was the Sentinel fight and some of the story. So the plot is written by Walt Williams, and it takes place on Earth 1048. This is pre X-Men era, so the mutants live in hiding, and the public is entirely unaware of their existence. So people don't even know mutants exist. So there is no X-Men.
Yeah,
The opening sequence features Logan actively working alongside Sabretooth and Mystique as a highly coordinated strike team under the guidance of Nathaniel Essex. So he's teamed up with Sabretooth and Mystique. And the primary campaign centers around rescuing Essex from the anti-mutant operations of tech billionaire Bolivar Trask. And we got to see a Sentinel boss fight. Did you watch that boss fight with the Sentinel?
yeah. I saw clips of it. I didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Sentinels have always been one of the coolest enemies in X Men. So I'm really happy to see it in Wolverine as well.
Yeah, they could be really scary. Like we've seen them in even in like in big movies. We got to see them in Days of Futures Past, and they were just killing all the X Men.
Yep.
And they're also going to be used in the new Doomsday movie. Doctor Doom's controlling them. You got to see that at D23 fighting the X Men, so that's cool. But yeah, so this fight takes place in a large construction yard and observation deck inside Trask's facility. The robot refers to Logan as an intruder, and it states mutant extermination. And then the massive Sentinel prototypes towers over the arena using sweep attacks, giant mechanical ground slams, and then of course the late like eye lasers that the Sentinels use. And Eurogamer, for example, said that it requires patience. You have to dodge the robot's giant arms and telegraph red attack areas, and battling it into striking the ground. Once its limbs are stuck, you can parry heavy follow ups to stagger the machine, exposing its weak points. And then it says the arena disables passive regeneration via environmental ability inhibitors. To heal, players must aggressively target the Sentinel's limbs when it's staggered, pressing the triangle button to execute a unique healing strike. And then it says previews confirm that you aren't completely alone. You can actively use your team's unique abilities like Sabretooth and Mystique to help dismantle the unit piece by piece. So there are some team mechanics, it seems like, in this game, which I didn't know about until I saw the preview. The reaction to the Sentinel fight was like, at least on Twitter's always negative, but the reaction was kind of lukewarm. Is the best way I could describe it. Like people were like, "Yeah, it looks cool, I guess." I no, I didn't see anyone like blown away by that fight in particular, and I wasn't like blown away either. But I was like, oh, it was cool, I guess. Didn't really sell me on the game. I'm already sold on it, but that fight alone didn't.
It doesn't sell you anymore.
Yeah, it didn't really do much for
Yeah,
me.
I think at this point the biggest mystery isn't the gameplay, it's the story and the characters and how they're going to be doing. You know, personally I want the best possible ending is Jean and Logan just about to kiss and then some asshole named Scott shows up out of nowhere and says hey to her. That would be amazing as a finisher because Wolverine Logan can never be happy.
Yeah,
With Jean specifically or in general, but mostly with Jean.
yeah,
Um but yeah, I thought this was really cool. In general, I love Mystique being there. She's one of my favorite characters. Of course, being non-binary, I being a shapeshifter is such a cool thing to me. Um, Yeah, and I think the character designs look awesome. The graphics look great. The gameplay, I think that's the sticking point for some people here. I think it looks pretty basic, and I think it's not going to. There is a skill tree that I saw in the IGN preview, and you do get new moves and different combos and stuff. But I'm not really convinced or sure
Yeah,
that it's going to add a ton of depth to things.
yeah,
I think this game is going to live or die at this point by its story and its characters and its writing. It sounds like they've got a really good writer behind the scenes. So as long as it has solid combat and like an amazing story, or at least a really good story, I'll be happy. Because I care about these characters, and I know it's a comic book game, but I
yeah,
want a great story for Logan. I want a great story for Wolverine.
yeah,
I think this is a really interesting context where the X-Men haven't formed, mutants aren't widely known about. I think that's a rich kind of fertile soil that you can work a lot with. Like you can grow a lot from that. So I hope they do it. I hope it lands really well. Obviously, I'm not a huge fan of Sony right now, but I love me Insomniac, so I'm going to support Insomniac.
yeah. The story is the question for me. Like, I think the gameplay. I know what the gameplay is going to be. Like, I know the gameplay is going to be at least good. I don't. It might not be amazing, but I think it's going to be at least good. The story is the question, right? Because like people. Spider. I really like Spider-Man 2, but people were there were people a lot like a good amount of people that were disappointed by Spider-Man 2's storyline and things like
Yeah,
and the choices they made. And I understand that there was some things I didn't like about it, but I still liked it overall. Um, so like people do have some mixed track record. Like so Insomniac does have a mixed track record with a lot of people in terms of story. It's like they don't always nail it, but I think this one's gonna do the story like very well. And I think the story's gonna be good, and I think the gameplay's gonna be good. I think this game kind of screams low 80s in the Metacritic. That's the vibe I'm getting. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel like it's
yeah,
gonna be like a 95 or anything like that, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna be in the 70s. I don't think it's gonna disappoint. It feels like it's gonna be a very good game, just not like maybe not an incredible one. So, all right, let's get to our spotlights now. So we got two of them. We got Beast of Reincarnation, and then we got Marvel Tokon. Dory and I both have played Beast of Reincarnation. Dory's a little farther than me, but I put like 6 hours into it, so I have enough
yeah.
to really comment on it. I don't think the game's gonna change that much from
No,
my where I'm at.
not in any way that significantly matters.
How many hours did you put into it?
I've got a little, or well, let me actually go to my library. I have, according to this, exactly 10 hours.
Okay, so 4 hours ahead of me. So Dory, do you want to handle the overview, or do you want me to read?
No, I got it.
Okay.
So Beast of Reincarnation is a post-apocalyptic third-person action RPG developed by Game Freak. You might have heard of them before. Available on PC and consoles. Set in Japan in the far future year of 4026, the narrative follows Emma, a emotionless outcast, quote, purifier who can absorb a mystical monster-creating plague known as the Blight. Alongside her trusted, blight-stained canine companion Ku, Emma embarks on a country-spanning journey to hunt down powerful corrupted beasts called Nushi, and ultimately destroy the titular Beast of Reincarnation, the immortal source of the plague. The gameplay mechanics revolve around a tight partnership combining Emma's fast-paced Sekiro sword parrying and unique hair-based traversal abilities with tactical slow-motion command attacks executed by Ku.
Yeah. So that's the overview of the game. So like right off the bat, Dory, like you like major near Stellar Blade vibes. Like
Stellar Blade near vibes to the extent that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I note this on our notes, that Game Freak went to the trouble of hiring the music people, you know what I mean, the musical team that
yeah,
was behind Stellar Blade, and I also believe behind Near Automata. I could be mistaken about that part,
yeah,
but definitely the people who worked with Stellar
yeah,
Blade
yeah.
were also involved in this
And not
project.
and not just in the setting, but which has like a very post-apocalyptic nature overtaking all machinery everywhere aesthetic, but the soundtrack is very lo-fi, right? It's very like chill and subtle. It's very relaxing and ironically for an action game. But
Yeah,
let's talk about the pros one, and we'll talk about each point at a time. So Dory, I'll let you lead on that.
sure. So yeah, Seb and I both have pros here for Beast of Reincarnation. It's all not all bad. We just talked about it. Amazing atmosphere, right? Great post-apocalyptic nature overtaking machinery aesthetic. It feels like Nier or Stellar Blade in a good way. It has a great soundtrack. I have some criticisms about the soundtrack because there's not a lot of variety, but what is
Yeah.
here is great.
Mhm.
If you didn't have to play a video game about this, I think the soundtrack would be a total banger. But unfortunately, they attached a 20 plus hour video game to it, so it gets a little repetitive. But that's a con. We'll talk about the con later.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
Anything you want to add?
No. Go
Okay.
ahead.
It has a cool world and art design. Totally agree with this. There are some parts of the game that look really cool. There's super tall grass, and there's these huge trees and buildings overgrown with moss, and there's just like this ambiance that's just it's very good. It sets the tone, and it's a very solid foundation for the rest of the game to take place on. It just doesn't really take advantage of that foundation.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it feels. Oh, go ahead.
Let me say this. I do have problems with the visuals, and I'll talk about that in the cons. But the art design of this game is amazing. Like the world itself is really cool. Like it's in Japan. It's in the future. It has like that nature's taken over everything. Trees everywhere and grass everywhere. But there's still like that leftover mechanical remnants of human civilization spread around the world. It feels very Japan in a good way, and they did a great job with that. But there are issues with the visuals, which we'll talk about.
Yes.
So, all right, so the gameplay story.
Yes. So the gameplay feels like Sekiro and FF7 remake had a baby together.
Hmm.
And Sekiro kind of chilled out as he got older and was like, maybe my parry window could have been a little bit more forgiving,
Yeah,
and I could have been a nicer person to my players. Yeah, the parry feedback very good. The windows are very forgiving. I mean, I'm able to do it pretty consistently. So if I'm able to do it, y'all should be able to do
yeah.
it too.
I think we said it's like a spectrum. There's like on one end it's this game, and then the other end it's Kana, which is like
Yes.
very unforgiving parry. I just can never get
Yes.
it right. And then Sekiro is somewhere on the more difficult side, I suppose. But you can master that one. I feel like I think Kano's was just broken,
Yeah,
honestly.
it just was unfair. Yeah.
Yeah,
Weird difficulty spikes in that game too.
yeah,
Hoping they do better on the second one. But
yeah,
yeah, I let's see what's next. Yeah, and the other great thing about it too is you have all these skill trees, you have a lot of options in terms of what you can do with Emma, what you can do with Q, what you can do in tandem with each other. There's this really cool ATB FF7 remake styled, pause combat for a second, let Q hit, and that's great because Q often gives you a little bit of health, so that can be a great thing. And you get that help from parrying. So the mechanics and the systems feed into each other. I do feel like the combat is the best part of this game. Not that it's amazing, but just relative to everything else, I feel like it's
yeah,
mostly pretty good or solid.
yeah. I totally agree. This game reminds me more of Final Fantasy VII remake than it does Sekiro. I mean, because this is a Souls game, and the fact that like if you rest at the what was it, a campfire, something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's literally a
yeah, it's
campfire.
literally a campfire. It resets all the enemies again, in the same spot. So it is Souls light. Not I still wouldn't call it a
I
Souls game, but it's Souls light because it
Yeah.
does
It
respawn
does
everything.
feel kind of like an unnecessary mechanic. There's no lore reason for this. There's no
Yeah,
reason at all to have it. It just feels kind of like they stuck it in there just so the Sekiro analogy would stick a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. It feels completely unnecessary. I hate this mechanic. It's one of the reasons I never play Souls games. Unless you have a really strong lore reason or a super strong mechanical reason to have me refight the same enemies I just kicked I just kicked their ass. Like I don't understand the purpose of it or the point of it. It just feels repetitive and annoying to me. But
yeah.
I'm getting into cons again. So
But
um
at the very least, if
yeah.
you die, you don't lose all your stuff. I don't think, right?
Yes.
So
So that's nice.
yeah, so it's Souls light. It's more like Jedi Survivor or Jedi Fallen Order, where it was like that game had those games had the same mechanic, where they respawn when you rest, but I still wouldn't. It's this game is still not a Souls game. It's not. It's not even that hard in comparison to Souls games in general. And also,
Yeah.
like, it's very forgiving with the parrying, and it's an action game, but it has some Souls light elements to it. But yeah, but it reminds me more of Final Fantasy VII because, as you said already, with the pause, like the slow motion, where you get to pick like your ability with Ku, and do like a spell or whatever, like
Yeah.
that reminds me more of Final Fantasy VII. So this is definitely a more accessible action RPG. It's not Sekiro. So if anyone's worried about this game being like Sekiro hard or like a
No,
Souls,
yeah.
it's not that.
No,
It's not
it is
even.
not.
Yeah,
If anything, the game is too easy. It's too forgiving. I don't lose I don't lose very often to bosses.
yeah,
But speaking of pause and Ku, Ku is is an awesome companion. I think he's just such a good boy. He's so adorable. I want my own. Please give me a Ku plushie or something. He is just such a handsome boy. I love him a lot. So thank you for that. You can upgrade his unique magical mod slots. You build your relationship. You trigger his it helps feed into triggering his slow motion tactical assist commands in battle. You can pet him. Of course you can pet the dog in this game. Imagine if you couldn't, I would charge Game Freak with war crimes and they would be convicted. Thank you. um it's just, I mean, I know it's simple, I know it's a cheat, it works. Ku's very cute and he's very good and I love him, so that's all there is to that one.
yeah. That saves the game a lot. Honestly, the dog. Like if it was just her, my review score of this game might be probably lower. The
Yeah,
Ku makes a big difference. Ku is a
he really
really
does.
great companion.
Because at least if the characters aren't much, I could just look at Ku and look at his eyes. He's always looking at Emma too. Like he'll follow her if
Yeah.
she's moving, and I'm like, ah, that's so cute.
Plus,
Um,
I like the mechanic of him like using him to like create platforms to jump on and like big
yeah,
giant big bridges and things like that. Like that's a cool
yeah,
mechanic.
it's very cool. Some of the traversal mechanics, as I'll
It
talk about, are
it
very
reminds
cool.
me a lot of Okami because the same
Yeah,
similar concept. Not, I mean, she can like paintbrush enemies and stuff like that. It's different kind of fighting, but like you know what I'm saying, like
yeah,
nature growing from like a wolf dog type of
yes.
character.
It has a great progression system, or at least a good one. The build customization is surprisingly robust. It features dense, interconnected skill trees, weapons with unique passives, and unidentified spirit stones to unlock at campfires. I haven't done that last part, but I have done a lot of the. Basically, it runs through an attribute system where if you get a certain amount of attributes, you unlock
Yeah.
other new skills that correlate to that attribute. I
Yep.
think it's an interesting system, and I like it. It took me maybe a minute or two to fully understand, but once I got into it, I liked it. I thought it worked well.
Yeah, I agree. I think the skill tree works really well in this game. It's one of the best parts of this game.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's it for me.
Um, Good length of time. Only takes around 20 hours to beat it, so I'm basically halfway through, especially with the way that I'm playing, which is do the la 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 la. Like I'm just running through this game. I'm not stopping to smell the
Yeah,
roses,
that's what I'm
what
doing.
little roses there are.
Yeah.
It's just I'm just running through this game and seeing how fast I can beat it. And one of the ways that I do that is through a mechanic that makes Emma come out of the ground. Now, Seb, I don't know how much you played with this mechanic, but it is very, very easy to abuse the fuck out of this mechanic and climb up on places you are not supposed to go and go to areas you are not supposed to be. For example, during one of the boss fights, I couldn't figure out. This happened to me a few times, so this should be a criticism, but instead, because of this really cool mechanic, it made for awesome exploration moments. So there's this mechanic that basically a vine comes out of the ground and carries Emma upwards. It goes surprisingly high, and so it pushed me all the way up to like a tree or something. I was able to place myself on the tree, then go higher up on a branch, higher up on a branch, go all the way up to the top, and I had hit the loading screen where I was supposed to go, but not in the way I was meant to. And so I ended up, the boss ended up spawning on top of me, but luckily, I don't know if Game Freak accounted for this or what, but I ended up spawning where I was supposed to be. So moments like that are just so cool. They're so satisfying. Um, I do have frustrations with it because of invisible walls. I'll talk about it later. But if speedrunners get their hands on this game, and maybe they already have, I don't know. I haven't been checking speedruns for this game. Um, this is going to be disgusting. People are going to beat this in less than an hour, I would say. The ability, even casually, I figured out some pretty decent sized skips. So I can't even imagine what speedrunners are going to come up with when they get their hands on this. It's going to be. I know the game hasn't been super popular because it's been mixed, but Game Freak has been patching it. They just released their second major patch. So I'm hopeful that speedrunners will be able to get into it. Also, let's be real, speedrunners have committed themselves to way worse games than Beast of Reincarnation. So I think this could be a real winner in the speedrunning community because of this mechanic. So I hope to see it. And if via, Wind Waker is another big case of invisible walls. If they can pull a Wind Waker and fucking go past those walls, this game's going to be done in no time.
Yeah, that'd be. I didn't use it a lot, but yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
Hopefully we see that
I
GDQ.
used it. I use it a lot. Yes, I think I hope we will. I used it a lot to get on the walls of the canyon, so you could just avoid fights and just keep going forward.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's really cool mechanic. It's probably my favorite, honestly. Probably my favorite part of the game.
Mm.
Um, Let's see. I think the music is really nice. It can be repetitive. I think the ability to shower off Ku so he doesn't have any blood and building rapport with him in order to get new mechanics is a nice part of the game. That's about it. That's all I really have for uh, you know, positives. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, just like a recap. The gameplay in this game is good. It's not amazing, but it is good. Like the gameplay is the best part of this game. Like this is a gameplay focused game. Not so much the story, which is
No.
unfortunately a big part of our action RPGs. And if an action RPG doesn't have a good story, or any RPGs doesn't have a good story, a lot of issues start showing up as we get to the cons. Dory.
Yep. These characters just kind of suck. I want to say this nicely, but they're just not good. Now, to be fair, Emma's whole thing is that she's an emotionless individual, and she obviously her voice actress isn't going to emote. Now, I have everything in Japanese because I heard the English dub was horrible. I don't think the
Oh
Japanese sub is much better. I think this is just a directing issue because it's
yeah.
bad either way.
Well,
Um,
well,
I don't know if
I
Seb, if
I
you
didn't
picked
even know
the
you.
English dub or
I
not.
didn't even know there was an English dub. It was Japanese by default, and I just let it.
It was. It was. I'm almost positive there is an English dub, but
Oh,
people were saying it sucked, so I didn't even give it a
so
shot.
I was playing in Japanese by default. I just assumed that it was only in Japanese. I didn't even look. Like
Yeah,
honestly.
I'm almost positive there's a English dub, but I could be wrong. Um, but yeah, I mean the writing characters they're dull. Emma lacks emotions. It's hard to connect with her. It's hard to care about her. I don't really care what happens. You know, look, it would be one thing if Emma was the robotic character and she bounced off of a colorful cast of interesting people, right? Like in Yakuza or something. That is not the case here. None of the characters have any kind of distinguishable personality from each other except like maybe one thing. This character can cook or that character can drive or
Yeah,
this character is really buddy buddy with Emma for some reason, or that character wants to save his village. There's nothing. There's nothing here in terms of distinguishable personalities. Why should I care about this world or these characters? Just Emma has no one to bounce off of because everyone's as emotionless as she is.
yes, agreed. The characters in this game are very bad. Like they're just dull. They're boring. Like
Yep.
I can't connect to anyone. Like if the main character is gonna be very stoic and very just bland, the rest of the characters need to stand out. Like she needs to be the one that stands out. Like she doesn't fit in or something like that. But when everybody else is the same personality as her, it doesn't work. That's the problem
Yep.
with this game. And it's not just that, but the character models and the animation, like the cutscenes, they're all just bland. Like
They're
everybody's stiff.
awkward.
It's just stiff.
Yep.
Like
It
they
it feels
look.
like a double
Yeah,
A. It feels
yeah,
like a double A studio, but I
yeah.
just I look. I understand that Game Freak doesn't take 100% of the profits from Pokemon, bro. Even if they took 0.1%, it's fucking Pokemon. There is no excuse for cutscenes like this at this point.
Yeah,
They are a 20-year company, 30-year company.
yeah.
Um, they have been around for a long ass time. They should know how to make decent cutscenes, and they just don't. They
And
just don't.
even Pokemon has better animation and like emotion shown in the animations. The problem with the Pokemon games, they just lack dialogue. They just lack like voice acting. Like Like the newest Pokemon games have better like emotion like on the character models because they're expressive, right? Because they're doing more like animated,
Yeah.
colorful sequences, and it comes off as extremely awkward in the Pokemon games because there's no voice acting for whatever reason. I don't know why they just refuse to have voice acting. It's not like there is no voice acting in Nintendo games. There's plenty. There's no excuse not to have voice
Even
acting in
even
them.
fucking Legend of Zelda has voice acting at
Even
this
fucking
point.
Mario has voice acting at this. I mean, he just lets go like Mario talks more than a Pokemon human
It's
character.
very weird.
Anyway,
This
it stands out. It's bad.
Yeah. The story is also bad. It's bland. It's filled with tropes. Hey, do you like girls with amnesia? How about two different characters who both have fucking amnesia and one's inside the other and neither of them know what the fuck's going on? Boring, bad, terrible. Look, I am all in on anime bullshit. We're going to talk about Kingdom Hearts soon. Love me some anime bullshit. I don't even care about the amnesia trope in of itself. It's done like the worst version of it here. It doesn't add anything to the plot. It feels unnecessary. Here's another criticism. The game goes back and forth through the timeline completely unnecessarily because you've already learned whatever it's trying to teach you through normal gameplay. It doesn't add anything to the story. The
Yes.
character moments are barely anything. It's just it just makes you feel
Yeah.
like you're just skipping around in the timeline to be like edgy or something.
Yeah, I don't
Like
like.
there's nothing
Yeah,
here.
I don't like the flashbacks at all. I don't think it adds
No.
anything. I think they were better. They were better off just telling the storyline in a linear
In a
fashion.
straight line. I
Yeah.
don't understand when they went back. It wasn't like, "Oh, what a great reveal." It
Oh,
was
it's
just like,
yeah,
"Oh, she gave her some food and they were kind of vaguely nice to each other and now she saved her from a monster and now they're friends."
and now she's
That's an
cooking.
easy story and
Yeah,
you could have just
yeah,
done a straight line.
yeah. I agree.
I
It's pointless. Like I just don't get the point of that
here
concept.
here's my biggest criticism of this game, and I'm so serious. This game does not respect your time. It does not value the player's input. It does not care that you've already beaten this boss because it will then ask you to beat that boss, that same boss that you just beat, two more times at least. I am 10 hours in, and I don't really care if this is a vague spoiler. You click away if you really care. I just beat a boss, and this was my breaking point. This made me take a break from the game because it does not respect my time. I beat a boss 4 fucking times. 4 separate times, the same boss. Now, the 4th time was with another boss, which made it even more challenging. I beat it 4 times just for the boss to pull a fucking Sephiroth from Kingdom Hearts 2 and no sell it like I did nothing to it. And then kick my ass anyway, as if I hadn't just opened up a can of whoop ass on it 4 fucking times. I hate this shit. That is one of the worst versions of the don't care plot demands you lose I've seen in years. I mean, this was bad.
Yeah,
This was bad.
yeah,
Like I had spent about an hour of my time beating this boss, beating it again, then beating an upgraded version, then beating it again with another boss involved. All for what? To just lose because of cutscene Emma?
yeah.
Really? It's just disrespectful.
I
It
hate.
is
Yeah,
honestly disrespectful to the player's time. And I
yeah.
said, "Nah, I'm taking a break."
I hate when video games do that. I hate when, like you beat a boss. Like say you fight a boss and you like beat it with no damage. Like you just kick its
Yeah,
ass, and then in the cutscene you lose. I'm like,
yeah.
I hate when games do that. Like it just takes me out
There's
of the story.
the whole point of a video game, I know, super controversial take, is to be an interactive media. If you are saying my interaction with this media doesn't matter, then fucking write a movie. Like, you clearly don't want to write a video game. You want to write a really cool action
Yeah,
movie, post apocalyptic, whatever.
yeah,
And that's cool, but don't try to pretend you're
yeah.
writing a video game.
You gotta do something like for example, Devil May Cry 5. Like when you fight the first boss, like he kicks your ass and you're supposed to lose. Like that's the only way it works. Like you have to the gameplay itself. You have to lose. Like that makes sense. But
Yes.
like when you
Yeah.
when you actually beat the boss yourself, it should be able to change the whole
And at
story.
least in Devil May Cry 5, if you beat that boss, you get the credits.
Yeah,
Do win. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
I got to give it to Capcom. Like, you do it's very unfulfilling, but you do win.
Yeah, it's true.
So I appreciate that. At least they
Yeah,
let you fucking win. But
yeah,
yeah, winning to lose is so annoying. It reminds me when I was growing up, I first realized this trope during the Dragon Ball Z fighting games. where you would beat a boss's ass, and then of course because of the Dragon Ball Z plot that's already been established by the manga and the anime, you have to lose, right? So I'm like, why am I fighting Frieza as Krillin if I'm obviously fucking losing? Like,
Yeah,
what's
totally.
happening here? What's the
Yeah.
point? Um, anyway,
At least that makes more sense in fighting games because you have to like fill the content with gameplay and stuff
for
like that.
sure, for sure, and I get that.
But in this kind of game, it's
No,
unacceptable. But it's not just that.
it really is.
But it's not just that.
It's
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The enemies like repeat way too much. Like you
Yes.
fight the same like robots over and over and over again, and then you fight the same boss fights, and their boss fights are incredibly repetitive. They do like the same attacks multiple times, and it doesn't help that the camera angles are horrendous at times
Yes.
as well.
And
It
the
it
animations cover the screen.
there's too many particle effects on the screen at the same time. Like there's too
Yes.
much going on. It's like overwhelming, and
It
and, and it doesn't help that this game is not pretty, which I'll get into after this. Like
yeah.
it's blurry. It's just there's too much going on my screen, and and I'm not somebody that gets overstimulated. Like I can handle a lot of shit going on my screen. Played many MMOs where I'm juggling 6 mechanics at the same time. Even this game is just throwing too much at me at the same time.
Yeah. The really frustrating thing too is that every fight feels not just formulaic, but the game will also it also commented the first time. I will say this: it is funny that Game Freak has every time the Nushi changes its fighting style, it says, "Oh my god, it evolved!" Because the first time it says it evolved, I said, "Oh no, press B to cancel." But but other than that, it is really frustrating and annoying, and that's a really small funny thing. But like you fight the Nushi, it runs away. Emma never does anything to stop it running away. I hate that trope too. Why aren't you trying to stop the boss? And then chases after the Nushi. Something gets in the way. Thank you, Nirvana. Something gets in the way, and you have to like get past a fucking door or something that's blocking you from getting to the Nushi's lair. Then you fight the Nushi again, same exact form you just fought, and then it evolves, and you get like maybe 1 or 2 extra attacks. It was really annoying too because one of the fights, I think it was the first boss fight, it glows red. And I was like, oh, basic game mechanics. I can't block that. So I'll try to dodge it. The dodge in this game is ass, by the way. You are not supposed to dodge. You were supposed to parry. But even when it's red like that, you're still supposed to parry. I don't think the game ever tells you that. If it did, I missed it.
It
But like
doesn't.
I died at least twice because I was not aware that you were supposed to parry those
It
attacks too.
doesn't.
Because of course
Yeah.
it's red.
It
It's
doesn't say
red.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't say yeah.
I only assume that because I'm so used to games doing that same mechanic, like God of War and Batman. So I
Yeah.
kind of just did it naturally, and then I kind of figured. Then I experimented with it. And yeah, they introduced it without even telling you. So
Yeah, which is so funny because the game will over tutorialize and tell you to do things that you already, again, like we already said, already know how to do. It's also frustrating because the game is like, yeah, like I said, look at how this beast has evolved. It's changing. Its moves are changing. It's like no, no, it's not. It added 1 attack, maybe 2.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's just frustrating. The whole thing is frustrating. Traversal can be awkward sometimes, moving from one thing to another. I especially had this, although it's kind of on me because I was trying to cheat the game and I was trying to be a speedrunner. So not completely on the game, but Seb also had some bad experience towards this.
yeah, it's clunky. The platforming in this game doesn't feel that great. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
horrendous. Like it's fine. Like I don't know, this game doesn't feel like it was made to be a platformer at times, and there's times where they want you to do a lot of platforming, and
yeah.
it's just clunky.
There's
It's not
other times where
the worst
I
though.
don't understand how you're supposed to get up to something. It took me forever to notice that via one of the Nushi's lair, you can get up on the highway and then you can go up the normal way. Like I tried every single method to try to get up on that bridge, to try to go around.
Yeah,
Honestly, if the repetitiveness isn't my biggest criticism, the invisible walls are. There are so many invisible walls in this game, and they all I would say 80% of them feel arbitrary and unnecessary and like I don't know, like some kind of punishment to the player for exploring their surroundings. There's literally areas you can visually see that are right next to you, and if you try to walk into them, you hit a fucking brick wall.
yeah,
It's so frustrating because
yeah.
I'm like, why is this area here if I can't go to it? why did you make the rocks like
Yeah.
this if I can't go up on the vine and then get like why aren't you rewarding player experimentation and exploration? Like that just
Yeah.
feels like such an easy win for this really cool mechanic that Emma has that I love. And instead of doing it, they're like, nope, invisible wall here, invisible wall. Like
Yeah.
they fucking hired a pack of highly trained ops mimes.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is happening?
This
Why are
is
there so many
yeah.
goddamn invisible
This
walls?
game is a very fake open world game. It's very much so a linear game that's disguised as open world because like you can only do so much in this game,
Yeah,
and you might as well. They should have just focused more on being more linear and cutting the game down a little bit in length and telling a better story than making this big open world game. And like even some of the platforming, it's like, where do you want me to go? Like this is chest or something up there.
yeah,
How the hell am I supposed to even get that? It doesn't tell you. And like there's nothing to like hint at anything. Like I just don't bother, and it doesn't feel like I need to because I'm just flying through the game anyway, having no problems with any of the bosses or any of the combat.
yeah.
So there's
And
like no
that's
point exploring anything because I'm
and that's
flying through
another
it.
thing too, is like just how easy this game is. I mean, if I'm saying this game is easy, like this has got to be a cakewalk for most people, similar to Seb who have played a lot of Souls games. Like I don't even really play Souls games, and I'm not calling this a Souls game for the record, but like this game's easy. I mean, just get down the patterns, maybe die once or twice, and
Yeah,
only if it like under tutorializes about bullshit,
yeah,
or it just has like a cheap ass boss.
yeah,
Um, it sucked too because when I was doing that 2-on-1 boss fight, which was like one of the last things I did before I stopped playing the game, I barely won. I had like a sliver of health because it was two bosses on one. They did very nicely take turns, which I appreciated, and I had like a sliver of health left, and I barely won because I think I paused time and coup attacked, and I won, and I was like, oh my god, thank God I won, only to lose, right? I don't. I'll get off that though because I've already talked about it a lot. I do want to say last thing, the themes are really cool, but they play a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. I feel like they only had one or two tracks for exploration, one or two tracks for combat, that's really it. I played 10 hours. I've maybe heard four or five
yeah.
distinct music tracks.
Right.
And they're all great, but I don't want to hear them for 10 hours.
Yeah, that's the thing about this game is it feels very double A in comparison to like the best action RPGs. Because like one of the best parts of Nier and Stellar Blade and Final Fantasy VII Remake is they all have banger soundtracks, and there's a huge variety of songs in all of those games, right? This game just does the same couple songs. It's like they couldn't afford like a whole soundtrack or anything like that. And not only that, not just the music, but like the visuals, because I haven't talked about that yet. Really,
Yeah.
this game is blurry. It don't look right. I played with the settings. I had it on max settings. I mean, the performance, like the frame rate's been fine and everything like that. I haven't had any problems with that. But like it just doesn't look. It don't look right. Like I play in other games and they look wow. Like they just because I have an OLED monitor and everything. Like I have a 4080 PC, which is a really good monitor. I mean, really good PC, and those two things make a lot of games look amazing. Like I'm like wow. Like most AAA games that have like really high budget and I'm playing on high settings. I'm like blown away or close to it. This game like just looks ugly to me. Like the atmosphere and the design, the art design of this game is great, but I couldn't appreciate it because the visuals looked ugly. Like when I played Stellar Blade for the first time on PC, I was blown away. Like it was so good. Like that was like the most perfect PC port I've ever played. Like that was like nothing. I had zero. I mean zero problems. Like it was gorgeous. The frame rate was fantastic. And I compared this game a lot to that one because it's very similar. And I would just tell people go play Stellar Blade. Like that's really what it comes to. Celebrate just does everything better. That game does have story problems too, but even the story in that game was better than this one. And so I was very disappointed with the visuals. I thought that at the very least this game was going to have good visuals, and it's not horrendous. I'm not saying it's like like I'm not saying it's like complete garbage and you can't enjoy it. I'm just saying like I was just very disappointed in the visuals, and I think we hit on everything. So really, the writing and the storyline just falls apart. I mean, it's just not good. Like everything's just bland and boring. Like even the beginning of the game, I was already like the beginning sequence was cool, and then it just lost me. It was just I don't care about anyone. I don't care about the world. It just that's like it's a sin for this kind of game. Like it's so essential for RPGs to have a good storyline because like there's so many better games that do the same thing as this game. Like even like Expedition 33, similar like color scheme, similar like weird world, and the writing in that game is as a masterpiece. Like this game just looks so bad in comparison to a lot of games, but even on its own, it's just bland. The gameplay is the only thing that really saves it for me. The gameplay is good, but everything else is incredibly mediocre. It's not bad. Like there's nothing in this game that's horrendous or bad besides the story. It's just incredibly mid. And that's why I think it's a 6.5 out of 10. Like I think it's very average. Maybe a 6 out of 10 for me. It's just very average. Like there's nothing about it that's absolutely horrendous, but there's nothing about it that's like really good except for maybe the gameplay. And I won't even say really good. It's like good. The gameplay saves it. If it was not for the gameplay, this is like a 5 out of 10 for me. So I'll say a 6.5. What about you?
Yeah, I am. There's this amazing jife I found recently of Doctor Who saying a 7 out of 10, 6.5 at a push. That's how I feel about this game. If you pushed me over, like, I don't know why you would, that's really rude. But like, I would probably say a 6.5 as well. It's clinging to a 7 for dear life. I was
Starfield 7.
at one point. What's that?
Starfield 7.
No. um. Uh. It was it was at one point a 7, getting close to a 7.5, just because I was having such a great time with the combat. And then I started getting some really frustrating exploration sections and really frustrating repetition. I was like, never mind, we're coming back down to earth. I'm at a 7 right now, but it's barely
Yeah.
clinging there. I wouldn't blame anybody who gave this a 6 out of 10, honestly.
The thing is,
IGN gave it a 6 out of 10.
the thing is, I almost always give games a 7 out of 10 or higher because I don't play bad games generally. If the game has really bad reviews, I don't bother. It's not because I can't think for myself. It's just like there's enough opinions that I respect, and if the game is just completely terrible, I won't play it. And then if the game is like average, like this kind of game, I'll usually get it for on a sale. And then fortunately, Dory and I split on this game, so I didn't have to buy it full price. Um,
Yep, same.
which Dory regrets because she didn't realize it was on Game Pass.
Yeah,
But
I do this to myself all the fucking time. I just don't I didn't associate Game Freak with Game Pass, I guess.
yeah,
I should have done more
but
research, but I've done that to myself multiple times
yeah,
before. I'll always do this shit to my cuz Halo, I knew it was going to be on Game Pass cuz duh.
yeah.
But like Game for anyway,
It
it's
gave it.
whatever.
It's understandable though because this game was revealed at the Xbox show and everything like that. But there's always a lot of games that those showcases are not coming to Game Pass day one, so you don't know what's coming. Like you do, it does tell
Yeah.
you, but if you're not like super paying attention, you'll miss it, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And I also forgot and didn't denote it anywhere. Also, like I'm on the Xbox like homepage like pretty often, and at least around the couple of days we were talking about splitting it, I never saw Beast of Reincarnation listed.
Yeah,
So I had no idea it was even coming. Like Xbox, do a fucking better job of advertising. It's like just so frustrating.
yeah. Well, hopefully, Game Freak learns from this because I do like Game Freak. I mean, I'm a giant Pokemon fan. I hope we get I hope the next Pokemon game is quality and just give us some voice acting, please. Like, come on, it's 2026. It's time for some voice acting in Pokemon. Like, what are we doing? This franchise is old. It's 30 years old now. Like, it's time for some voice acting. In this game, uh, it's a mediocre first attempt for them. Hopefully, they learn from this, and the next game is much better. So,
Yep.
all right. So let's move on to Marvel Tokon, which is a much better game. Now, this is gonna be more. This is gonna be a faster topic because obviously it's just me talking, and Dory doesn't play fighting games. I'm a big fighting game fan. I'm not a big fighting game fan where I go to competitions and play up people online a lot and that kind of stuff. But I do always I've always been a good fighting game player, and I've always enjoyed fighting games. And I do enjoy Arc System Works games. I really love Dragon Ball Fighters. This game is similar to that one, which I'll get into. So, Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls is a highly acclaimed 4v4 anime style tag team fighting game developed by Arc System Works, and it's published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Sony owns this game, and even to the point where on Steam, you can log into your PlayStation account on Steam and get trophies on PC. Um, it released on August 6th for the PS5 and the PC only. Game features an original single-player story written by comic scribe Kieran Gillen, full crossplay, and an anime-inspired launch roster of 20 iconic Marvel heroes and villains divided into thematic squads like the Unbreakable X-Men and the Knights of Doom. The core gameplay introduces an innovative mechanic where all four chosen fighters share a single health bar, but players start a match with only two characters active, gradually unlocking remaining two assists by initiating wall breaks or losing rounds. Alright, so let's get into the pros. So, right off the bat, this is perhaps Arc System Works' finest looking game they've ever done. The game blends gorgeous cel shaded 2.5D graphics with over the top anime exaggerated cinematic animations. The visuals in this game are top notch. I love all the designs of all the characters. I love the backgrounds. I love how colorful it is. It's a beautiful game. It just pops on my monitor. I was I was very close to blown away. I was like, this is incredible. I'm a big Marvel fan. I'm a sucker for fighting games. I'm a sucker for Marvel stuff. It blends those two things together. My love of anime blends in together with this. It's very much so like Dragon Ball Fighters, where I was blown away by my favorite anime and show of all time getting a really cool video game look. It's the same thing with this game, but with Marvel characters. I love everything about that the visuals, the music, the opening sequence, the opening cutscene, with the music is an incredible cutscene. It feels like an anime opening. It's just amazing. It's so cool. And then I loved the mechanic. It says there's a shared health bar and staggered assist unlocking system that acts as a natural rubber band balancing mechanic, allowing players who are trailing to make comebacks once their full team is unlocked. So I love the 4v4 concept of this game. I love how you can break the wall on the side, and there's a whole sequence where you kick a person through a city, and the show it's like an anime. It's like you crashes through a building and in a whole new sequence, a whole new section of the map, where you're or the stage rather. It's so cool. It's very accessible. It's a lot like Dragon Ball Fighters, where you don't have to know all the combos and memorize all the skills like a Street Fighter game or something like that. It's very casual. You can just hit uh square, triangle, X, or circle four times, and they'll do a whole combo, including their special and stuff like that. So it's very accessible, just like Fighters was. Um, so you could be competitive against the best player, e- even by just pressing random buttons. But there is a level of mastery too in this game. Obviously, with that said, you'll get your ass kicked by the best players, obviously. People that really understand the mechanics of high, low, being in the air, things like that. You will definitely get your ass kicked. But it's a very casual, accessible fighting game. You can do all the coolest stuff just by pressing buttons. And you don't need to memorize every character, all four characters that you're using, moves. You could just use one. It's the same. They all have the similar buttons for their moves and things like that. I really enjoyed using Spider-Man, of course. Spider-Man's my favorite. I enjoyed using Ghost Rider as well. I love Deadpool in this game. He just fits this game to a T, being like an anime Deadpool, breaking the fourth wall. It's hilarious. The animations the characters have when he beats them, they all look beat up, and it's really funny. Look it up. all like they have specific sprites for all the characters, like the specific portraits of what they look like when Deadpool beats them. It's really hilarious. I like the cast of characters. I love like you can play like Green Goblin, which looks awesome in this game, and like Carnage, and I like you play as Doctor Doom and Magneto, but you can also play obscure X-Men characters, and then it has like Captain America and Iron. This is the Avengers, of course, what you expect, and you know this game's gonna have a ton more characters added down the road as well. So this game has gonna have long, long, long legs. This game is gonna be an Evo, a major pillar of Evo, which is the fighting game, competition. People are gonna be playing this game for years. It's that good of a fighting game, and it really lives up to the hype. It really does. If you're a Marvel fan and you like fighting games, you'll really enjoy this game. Obviously, you can enjoy it with your friends. You can enjoy it online. There's ranked and all that. So of course, people are gonna. That's like the most popular mode for fighting game fans. It has a pretty good storyline. It has a good uh, story, like campaign mode. Like there's four of them. There's one where like you're on Spider Man's team, and there's one where you're the Avengers. There's one where you're the X-Men, and there's another, and then the last one was the villains. You play as the villains. They don't all tie together. They're like alternate versions. It's kind of like Mortal Kombat. Like that one team is the one that moves on in the tournament, right? So they have four different storylines that change because they beat the other teams, right? So like Spider-Man could be like at the final fight against the boss, or it's the X-Men, or it's the Avengers, or it's the villains that fight the last guy. So it's like Mortal Kombat. So basically the premise is that like there's this champion, which is a real Marvel character, wants to fight the best characters in the universe, the best they can actually give him a challenge. It's kind of like Dragon Ball, and he like destroys planets if they lose. So Earth is targeted, and she sends like
So
a
it's
message.
literally the plot line of Super, right? It's
Yeah,
the
literally. Yeah,
tournament of power.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally. But it's also Smash Brothers because she sends a messenger and she throws like letters and like envelopes at the characters, and they get envelopes that invites them to a tournament. It's like
I can't wait till Nintendo slides into their DMs.
yeah, it's very much Smash Brothers. Um, but yeah, it's a simple story, but it works. And the villain himself is not like he's a villain, but like there's always a good ending. Like he's like Goku. He's like, oh, I'm beaten. I respect your challenge. I'm gonna train harder, and he kind of becomes he kind of like becomes friends with you. Like you kind of respect him. Like he's kind of like Broly, the new Broly, where like he's gonna train with you. Like okay, I'm gonna stay on Earth, and I'm just gonna like I'll keep your planet like safe. I'm not gonna do anything to your planet. You beat me fair and square, and all no harm done. We're all gonna just move on, like that kind of thing. Like that's literally the ending of all the storyline.
It
Um,
really is.
it's very simple. You can beat every campaign in like an hour or two, depending on your like how skilled you are. I think most of them are like I want to say all of them are like an hour to 30 minute, hour and 30 minutes. So it's very good. And I like that the story mode each campaign had its own art style. Like the Avengers one was very manga styled, like very Japanese. And then like the Spider-Man one was very comic book styled. And then the X-Men one was also very comic book style, but in a different art style. And the villain one was comic book style as well. The Captain America one was very anime style, like very manga styled. Like it looked very watercolored. It was a very unique look. All right. I think that's everything in terms of the pros. Any questions for me regarding the pros of this
No,
game?
no questions. I was looking at the roster and like if I ever played this game, it's a three-person game, right?
What do you mean
Or
like
it's like a team of three,
no 4v
when you're
4?
fighting?
It's 4v
Oh,
4.
it's 4v4?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. I'd probably pick Spidey Kamala. Oh, that makes sense because all the teams are four. I'd probably pick Spidey, Kamala, Deadpool. After that, it gets tough. Maybe Magneto. I don't know if you can pick from different teams, but
Yeah,
I'm
well,
just
not in the
going right.
campaign, but in the like when you're actually playing, you can pick.
But yeah, when you're actually playing is more of what I mean. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
think that'd be my team. That's a pretty cool team.
yeah.
Anyway,
This,
no, I don't have any questions about the pros. That was most of what I was thinking about. It's like, what would my team be like?
yeah,
But no, I mean, I think it sounds like a really cool game. I love the art style as well. But like you said, fighting games are just not for me. I even played a little bit of Dragon Ball Fighters. I just couldn't really get into it. Unless it's Smash Brothers, it's just not something I'm gonna play probably.
yeah, yeah. I love I love Arc System Works. I think Dragon Ball Fighters is the greatest Dragon Ball game ever made. Like, and that's saying something because there's tons of them. And that's saying something because I love Tenkaichi and I love Budokai and all that, but Fighters was just that good for me. So let's get into the cons now. Not that many. Pretty basic too. Sometimes so much can happen on the screen, like flashy effects and multiple assists and cinematic shifts, that it can be hard to track and it can be overwhelming for anyone who can't handle all the overstimulus. Like the backgrounds have so much going on, and there's so much combat and so many particle effects. It can be a bit overwhelming. Uh, I can handle it, like again, like I said, I'm used to that kind of stuff. But for another person, it could be too much going on screen. Like the background itself is very detailed. There's like big events going on in the background while you're fighting, and the switching can be confusing for some people because there's button prompts you have to hit, and that could be too much for some people. So there's that. The biggest criticism of this game is the PC version has had problems. There's technical bugs and optimization issues. I don't feel like I've had that many issues myself. Like I feel like I've had a good time. It's stable 60 frames. Nothing crashed on me. But a lot of people have complained about this game. I think it got mixed reviews on Steam, things like that. So, um,
Yeah, I was about to say it has a mixed rating on Steam. At least last I checked, which was a couple
yeah.
days ago.
But I personally have not had the issues that people have complained about. Really, I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe I just got lucky, or maybe I started playing when the patch kicked in. I don't know, but yeah. There's also an arena focused party mode called Arcadia Rumble, and you play as like the characters as chibi versions of them, and you run around this little map and you just kind of like smack each other and fight each other. But it just feels very like uninspired and flat, and like it just feels less developed than the rest of the game. So I don't know if people like that. I don't really care for it. I think it's just kind of weird. So yeah, I don't have. That's my only cons of this game. Really, I mean, nothing about this game like blows. Like I can't give it a 9 out of 10 or a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10 because it's just like it's a fighting game. It's very simple. The content is good for a fighting game, but it's still not like you're not getting a lot of the content out of a fighting game unless you commit to fighting. Playing online and stuff. So it my score lines up with the reviews. I think the reviews are in the 80s on Metacritic. I think it's 8.5. I think it's a really great game. Um, it could be it's my top 10 probably at the end of it right now. Well, it probably won't stay in my top 10 just because there's so much more awesome games coming out soon. But maybe it will. I don't know. But this was definitely my fighting game of the year, and I feel like that's gonna win fighting game of the year at the Game Awards. It is that good. I think it is by far the best fighting game of the year, and yeah, like if you love Marvel and you love fighting games and you like anime style animations and gameplay and all in games and all that, this game is the game for you. Like they did an amazing job bringing Marvel into a Japanese aesthetic, and I know we're anti Sony right now, but they nailed it. I mean, Sony's just publishing it, but you get what I'm saying. This is a must buy if you're a fighting game fan. Like this is gonna be like a huge game for years. You're gonna see this at Evo and everything. People are gonna make thousands to millions of dollars winning championships playing this game. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what the roster is gonna be in the next 5 years. So yeah. All right, so that's Marvel Tokon. Now we can talk about some more Disney Marvel, you know, news that we got, and Kingdom Hearts, part of Disney. So right before we even get into Kingdom Hearts 4, we gotta make it clear what happened before D23. Disney just randomly just decided to support Kingdom Hearts after like pretty much ignoring it for 20 years. And they're just
It's a
like,
billion-dollar franchise, Seb. I don't know if you know
yeah,
that.
and they're just like, you know what? We're gonna say it's $1 billion franchise. Even though I went to Disney World recently, I live in Florida, and I saw no Kingdom Hearts merchandise anywhere except for like a random shirt at Epcot at the Japanese specific store in like the Japanese pavilion in Epcot. Eh, So like Kingdom Hearts has always been like kind of like the redheaded stepchild of Disney. Like they don't like Square Enix puts more focus on Kingdom Hearts than Disney does.
And
Um,
that's sad because Square sometimes I think Square forgets about uh Kingdom Hearts, but go ahead.
no, you totally. Or they use Kingdom Hearts as like their cash cow for mobile gaming. They like to use Kingdom Hearts as the spin-off series where like they let's make a DS game, let's make a 3DS game, let's make a Game Boy Advance game, let's make a mobile game. And then meanwhile the main franchise like on the big platforms gets neglected for years.
It's that classic of the little girl the little boy is like drowning and the little girl is being helped, but
Yeah.
everybody else is
Yeah.
like drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
classic.
love Kingdom Hearts. Like it's like top 5 franchising games for me. But the story is convoluted, and it's a lot of it is because, especially later on, is because I don't like the fact that they tie in the mobile games with the
Yep,
story of the main
yep.
games, because it's not fair to the people, especially when the mobile games are like Japanese exclusive or something like that. It's like you can't. Kingdom Hearts 3
It's
had plenty of moments where I was like, I don't know what's going on. I had to look things
yeah,
up and watch videos, and I shouldn't have to do that. And I still did, and I understand it, but I shouldn't have to do that. Is what I'm saying.
yeah, I agree. I mean, it's unfortunate reality that Kingdom Hearts has made side games canon since all the way back in Chain of Memories. Now it is worse than it used to be because mobile games and no one plays them, or at least a lot less people play them than would have played Chain of Memories. And even Chain of Memories, a lot of people didn't know it happened because it was Game Boy Advance. It was so this has always been an issue with Kingdom Hearts, and that's why people say it's incomprehensible. Well, that's one of the reasons why
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts can be a tough game series to get into. I was just talking about this with somebody today. Um, I'll always die on the hill that Kingdom Hearts is an understandable plot and there is logic
Yeah.
to it, but Nomura has made that logic very twisted at times through time travel, through tying in the side games by making bits of lore, kind of convoluted or unnecessarily complex.
Yeah.
It's like Metal Gear. I mean, I never see the hate. I'm biased and I'm just not seeing it. I never see Metal Gear get the same kind of hate that Kingdom Hearts does. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because Metal Gear is just goofier and just nobody takes it as seriously, or they've just gotten used to Kojima. But
Well,
like Metal
yeah.
Gear is just as fucking convoluted as Kingdom Hearts is, if not more.
It's
I
just
mean, at least with
yeah.
that, you can like start with Metal Gear Solid 3 and you could just play it all the way through and not be confused. But you
Yeah.
couldn't do that with 2. You couldn't do that with 4 or 5
Yeah.
or maybe 5, but yeah, you couldn't do that with 2 or 4.
I guess it's just because Kingdom Hearts is so much more random. I feel like there's more games, first of all, like on
Yeah, for sure.
random titles and Disney characters. Like it's just a more random series. It's
Sure.
easier to make fun of more so than Metal Gear. And Metal Gear is
Which is
like,
which is weird because Metal Gear also has side games that are can if I remember correctly, are canon to the plot. So
hmm,
Kojima does the same thing Nomura does, but I never see Kojima criticized for it. It's very strange. And this is not like
I
me
think,
hating on Kojima, but
yeah,
I just think it's weird.
I just think Kingdom Hearts is easier to make fun of just because it
Yeah.
has like the corny wholesomeness and like
Yes.
and it's Disney characters, they're anime
Yeah.
characters. They're like 14-year-olds that like talk over the top. It's goofy,
Yeah.
that's the charm of it too, which
Sure.
I love. I mean, I'm wearing a Kingdom
I
Hearts shirt right
I
now.
also will always say yes. I will also say I am not. I will also say about Kingdom Hearts that in a world of post irony where everybody's too fucking irony poisoned or past irony or whatever, Kingdom Hearts is just good, wholesome, goofy fun. No pun intended, but it could have been.
Mm.
Um, I really appreciate it for that. I appreciate that it is what it says on the tin. You're not going to be confused about the message Kingdom Hearts is trying to give you. Now that cannot be some people's cup of tea, and that's totally fine. But I personally appreciate that because
Yeah.
so many series these days are like, "Well, I'm too cool to be wholesome.
Dark
I'm
and
too
edgy.
cool to be."
Everyone wants
Yeah,
to be dark and edgy and grounded,
everyone wants to
and
be dark and edgy. And don't get me wrong, Kingdom Hearts has its dark and edgy moments, but there's also a lot of
yeah.
wholesomeness to it. I mean, it's light and darkness, right? Literally in the fucking game.
Yeah, like
So,
at its core, like there's a lot of depressing things in Kingdom Hearts. There's a lot of sad moments.
yes.
People die. It's about grief. It's about darkness and letting darkness overconsume you. Like you can get a whole like you can get very very deep with Kingdom Hearts, but at
Yeah.
its core, it's still about the main thing is like keeping the hope and looking at the bright side of things and
I mean, one
your
of the games
friendship
is
and
literally
things like that.
yes. Yeah,
Go-
friendship. And one of the games is literally about basically gaslighting a child. Like that's the entire game. Like I'm using gaslighting a bit broadly here, but basically ripping away the memories of a child, like bit by bit by bit. Like these games are not
That's
all
crazy.
like
I've never
I know
thought of.
it's crazy.
I've never thought. I've never. That's a crazy explanation of Chain of Memories, like that. The whole game, the Castle Gaslight.
Castle
Can
Gaslight. Anyway, we should actually talk about the
yeah,
D23 reveal and everything that happened
yeah.
after.
So we finally get to D23, and
Yep.
they had a big advertisement for Kingdom Hearts. It was like in the banner and like in their advertising, like oh my god, Sora. So I was starting to get the vibe that something big is gonna happen. I've never seen Disney advertise Kingdom Hearts like that. They have a new CEO now. Maybe and Disney's more. I think the difference now is that Disney's more interested in investing in gaming. Like they have a gaming division, and they're really focused on gaming now. And they see the market is growing, so obviously Disney wants to get their hands in there. And why not focus on Kingdom Hearts because they already have a huge franchise that they already own. They already co-own with Square Enix, so why not advertise the shit out of Kingdom Hearts? And they know Kingdom Hearts 4 is huge. So yesterday comes, which was August 14th, and
Yep.
then we got the D23 showcase. Not obviously it's mostly a movie and showcase and like theme parks and things like that. But we wait for the game division. We got to see a little bit of Wolverine, and then they show uh Pixar. They show like random movie. They show okay, we're revealing Incredibles 3. And then we're doing Coco 2, and Miguel has a fade. He has a fade haircut now. He's Gen Z, Miguel. And then all of a sudden, Kingdom Hearts 4 gameplay from Coco, like just out of nowhere. By the way, Kingdom Hearts 4, and we got a whole trailer of Sora being in the Coco world, and the gameplay, and him with the Keyblade, him wearing skull makeup. I was like, holy crap! What the hell? It was just the way they revealed it was like so random
Yeah.
and hype, and we couldn't even see it because it was private. So you had to like it was like all through Twitter updates.
Yep.
But and then Twitter got and then the and then they released the trailer like right like at the same time though, and I was like wow, like I couldn't believe it. And then not just that, they gave us a release window. And they said late 2027, which we've been waiting for years. Something credible, because like in my head, it could be like 5 years from now. But I was telling Dory before though that like something tells me it's sooner than people think. It just it's too much advertisement, too much smoke going on. I feel like the game is getting close to done, and lo and behold, boom, 2026, late
Yeah.
2027. So, Dory, what was your reaction? I mean, I know what your reaction is, but for the audience,
Yeah. My reaction was yeah, I as soon as Seb messaged me, I was like, "Bro, what the fuck spoilers?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a private event. There's
can't
no
even
way
watch
you could
it.
have known." I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, okay, fair enough." But then I went on a trailer and I was like, "Oh my god." There's so much here. So Coco is such a good choice narratively because of what Sora is going through right now. Because Sora is kind of dead and kind of forgotten, but not really. And so the Coco theme playing with Kingdom Hearts right now is just
perfect.
is just amazing.
And we both
And
predicted that too. We both said Coco is probably gonna be one of the worlds.
Yeah. So I'm just really happy about that. I'm really happy about the inclusion of Coco. I love Coco as a movie.
Yep.
Banned in my household. Have cried 5 times to it. I never want to see it again. Please no.
Good to see it for
So
sixth time.
this is emotional terrorism against me specifically because Kingdom Hearts already makes me cry. I don't need this shit. This sucks. I mean, it doesn't actually suck. I'm very excited, actually, obviously, but this is terrible news for my mental health in late 2027. But yeah, seriously, this is awesome. I
Oh,
love Coco. I think it's one of the best Pixar movies ever. I
yeah.
think when I
It's my
watched it,
favorite.
I gave it like a 5 out of 5 or really close to a 5 out of 5. It's just a perfect movie. It's so good. Not perfect, but you know what I mean. It's very close to perfect.
Oh my god.
About as close as the movie can get.
If they play "Remember Me" and Sora thinks of like his friends and like there's so much potential for
Yeah,
sobbiness. Like
I'm just out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm gonna lose all my fucking lives to this. I'm gonna hear that goddamn annoying tone when you're low on health points.
but Dory's
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but Dory's right though. It
yeah,
ties into the death thing because they also showed
yes,
Donald and Goofy going to Hades looking for
yes.
Sora if he's dead, and Hades like, no, he's not dead. So Quadratum doesn't mean he's dead because that was a theory going around that Sora was dead. He died at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. It's not really he's dead. It's like an in between. Although
Yes.
it was I didn't really think about it, but I guess they just established that in Kingdom Hearts lore, if you die, you go to Hades. So like all the Keyblade people, warriors are all in Underworld
Isn't that
now.
amazing? You die to protect the light, and then where do you fucking go? You go to hell.
Like so, it was like all the like all the Kingdom Hearts characters that died, and like, are they in Underworld now?
I don't know, but I kind of want that to be the case because that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, Miguel is playing the Mia Moore. We get we get normal Heartless, and they're not. Some people were worried because oh my god, it's realistic Heartless. What about the little chibi Heartless? Well, we got those back too, so you can stop complaining about that, you weirdos. It also is notable that in the trailer your companions are not Donald and Goofy. They are Miguel and Seb. Help me out. I don't remember his name. Uh, the
Ernesto.
the other guy. I don't know the skeleton guy. I don't remember
Ernesto
his name.
De La Cruz.
Oh, yes, De La Cruz.
His
So
name's Ernesto.
yeah, Ernesto. So you can see in the bottom right during one of the fights that they are his party members. Of course, he's separated from Donald and
No,
Goofy.
I'm
Want
sorry.
to say also,
That's Hector.
go
No,
ahead.
Ernesto's the villain.
Oh, I was like, wait, isn't
Hector is the guy.
yes, Hector. And that's Miguel's father, right? And then Hector is like, or
Y-
not Hector, Ernesto de la Cruz is like his idol or something.
He's Miguel's grandfather.
Grandfather. Oh, okay.
That Ernesto's the guy
It's
that
been a long,
yeah, Ernesto's the guy that killed him, and
yes, it's been a
it
long
took all the
time since
credit. Took all
I've
the credit.
watched it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, And then the other thing I was gonna say too, this is really cool. I recommend go checking out the gamers joint video on this. But if you look really closely at Sora's makeup, he's got a heart under one of his eyes and a crown under the other, which I think is a really cool detail. Really nice, kind of little wink and a nod to to people who know about the insignias that often go on. Obviously, we get introduced to the Keyblade. That looks really cool. It looks amazing, honestly. It reminds me of the the indie studio. Man, what the heck? Why can't I remember their name? Double Fine. Reminds me of Double Fine and their logo during Day of the Devs. I feel like that. It looks kind of similar. Uh, Anyways, Seb, do you want to talk about anything else? I could just go through this whole. That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just going through the trailer. But do you want to talk about anything, or do you want me to keep going?
I mean, that was like all the main stuff, really, right? What else was there?
So they also show a on rails segment where he is fighting a mini
Yeah,
boss.
yeah.
That was really cool. It also seems like a little detail is that you apparently get the world's Keyblade before you finish the game, because even in Kingdom Hearts 3, you didn't get the Keyblade from the world that you were in. So, for example, the Toy Story Keyblade, you didn't get until you beat Toy Story. Here it seems like you get the Keyblade right at the beginning of the game, which is really cool. And it seems like Sora can just summon it himself. So that's awesome.
He might as well. I mean, he's a Keyblade master at this point. I mean,
Right.
he better be able to, I would assume.
They brought back the fucking Mary Poppins Heartless from Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm going to scream because I hate those Heartless. They're like the new dancers that, remember the dancers in Kingdom Hearts 2? God,
Yeah.
I hate those too. Um, let's see. Uh, then you can see also on the mini map there's a Moogle during the time when they're there um in the world. Then we flip over to Mickey. Mickey is looking through a book because he's wondering who he's gonna sue next. No, he's looking through a book so he can help Sora get out of wherever he is, and he's like, "Oh boy, this will be really helpful to fighting Sora." And yeah, it's a little scene with Mickey. It looks just like or similar to Mickey discovering stuff in Scala at Kylum, which is a integral place in Kingdom Hearts 3. It's of course where you fight Old Man Nort. Um,
Didn't they?
and then
Didn't they
yeah,
establish that? That's where like you play as Mickey in the second trailer today. Like
yes, they
that's what
did. Yes,
that's the island. That's what the Paper Mario looking thing looked like. Is that the
yeah,
same
that was
place?
kind of weird.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then uh, uh sorry, just a lot going on here. So then Sora's with Strelitzia and another character. Their names were all
Sigurd.
shouted. In case you guys didn't know their names or who they were, Strelitzia's name was shouted, and Sigurd's name was shouted, and the other
Sigurd.
guy's name was shouted once. I can't remember his name. But like Sora did all these lines of like, "Hey, you character who people might not know."
Hey, you
But
mobile game
basically,
character.
yes, mobile game character. And they cannot see Donald and Goofy, but Sora can. And then when Sora like kind of realizes it, he like collapses unconscious. Also notable that on his attire are the buttons of the Dandelion infantry from I believe from Union Cross. And you even hear him say they're calling for the Dandelion whatever special squad in the second trailer. So that's confirmed. Um, but yeah, Strelitzia, Sigurd. There's a really cool bird heartless in Quadratum. I don't know if you noticed. That thing looks sinister as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it, but it really stood out. That's like nightmare fuel. I gotta
Yeah.
take a screenshot of that. I'll send it to you. That looks fucking scary,
I'm looking at
honestly,
it.
low key.
Yeah, I'm looking at it while I'm talking.
Yeah. So that looks kind of scary. Uh, and yeah, the Sigurd and Strelitzia both are using keyblades that we've seen before. Sigurd is using one that you saw. Um, you could use a missing link, and then Strelitzia it's very very quick, but it looks like she's using one of the keyblades from Kingdom Hearts 3. Um,
Yeah.
it seems like it's an upgraded version of the Starlight Keyblade.
But how do they have Keyblades?
So they are also Keyblade warriors. So that's how.
I mean, like where they've been, kind of thing. Like they've just been in the Quadratum the whole time, or
I think the idea is that Sora brings the magic with him. Like I don't mean that figuratively. I mean literally. Like he
yeah.
brought darkness into the real world, and so he also brought Keyblades into the real
Oh,
world.
okay.
But I'm not sure. I did Kingdom Hearts. But I'm not sure if that's I think that's what's happening because that's the explanation for why
Yeah.
the Master of Masters gives that explanation basically. Or not that's not Master of Master, that's a different character, but she gives basically that answer to why, all this stuff is happening. Basically cuz Sora's here. So good job Sora.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the whole trailer basically for D23.
Right. And then we got another one today as well.
Yes.
Now it's basically we don't have to go into too much detail because like
No.
most of it was the same, but there was some more. We got to see more gameplay a little bit.
Yeah.
Mostly Sora fighting in the Coco Land, and we got to see Riku. We got the big reveal that Riku appeared in like what he looks like in Kingdom Hearts 4. The guy's older, looking for Sora, and we'll see. They'll probably reunite, I would assume, at some point in Kingdom Hearts 4, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it was basically an extended trailer of what we'd already seen.
Yeah,
The idea that we can play as Donald and Goofy is really exciting.
yeah.
You could kind of play as Mickey and Remind, and of course Kingdom Hearts 2 when Sora died, but obviously that's very situational. Um, yeah, it is
This,
also like Sora's using like a phone and stuff like that.
yeah.
So that's kind of
Well,
weird.
the
I mean, he
Mickey,
was using it in
yeah,
Kingdom Hearts 3, but
yeah.
yeah, it's still kind of weird.
Mickey does like a Paper Mario section, and then he like does this 2D and 3D, and then he turns like a giant origami Mario, not Mario, a giant origami Mickey, and then you can play as Donald and Goofy. Like you can cast, like you can finally heal because you actually control Donald this time. Um, I'm curious how that works. Can you switch between them or like yeah, like Donald? I mean, it's a whole different play style because Donald's all like range based and Goofy's all melee based. So the combos look awesome, and they showed Donald and Goofy arriving in Coco, so they're getting close to Sora. I would assume, or they're trying to anyway. And they look great too. They matched it perfectly.
Yeah.
And then we got to see other Kingdom Hearts characters, like people in the cloaks, right? We got to see
Yeah,
the Xehanort guy with the umbrella.
we saw young Xehanort and Zigbar accosting him.
Yeah,
And then you saw three massive shadows. I can't believe I'm forgetting what the fuck they're called. I'm not a real Kingdom Hearts fan, but the ones that are at the beginning of every single Kingdom Hearts game that you fight. But there
yeah.
was like three of them. I was like, this is getting out of hand. Now there are three of them. Um, and then of course Riku shows up with his fucking Honda Civic keyblade.
Yeah,
I'll never get over how big and ugly that Keyblade is. Why didn't he keep the Road to Dawn or whatever the fuck that one
yeah.
was? That was so cool. Why did he lose
I hope
that
he
for this fucking Honda Civic ass Keyblade
I hope he kept
key?
yeah, I hope he kept the gummy ship. Like I could always laugh at the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3. He picks up Naminé in his Bugatti. Like he just shows up and picks her up.
Yeah,
I hope they keep that. But yeah, like I mean it looks amazing. Like it's Kingdom Hearts, right? I
yeah.
I don't know how Xehanort's here. Like is he like reincarnated? Is he good now? Like he seems to be friendly with Sora in a way.
I think he's good now. Yeah, I think the idea is that uh, young Xehanort is a different version before he was corrupted,
Yeah.
but we will see. I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions about his role in the game.
Yeah, maybe they'll try to corrupt him in the game, and then
Yeah.
like he
I mean,
doesn't.
that could just be what Zigbar is trying to do, right? I don't know.
Yeah, and isn't he like the master of masters, or is that someone
No,
else?
Master of Masters, we don't know who he is.
Yeah, but it does. But he's like he's tied to him though.
Yeah, yeah,
he
they're
was trained by him or something
they
like that,
almost
right?
certainly know each other. The Master of Masters is the guy who was with all of the people who wore the animal masks
Yeah,
in Kingdom Hearts Key, that fucking 30-minute animation movie or whatever it was.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Which was
fucking Kingdom Hearts.
which was a mobile game.
Yes, it was a tie-in to Union Cross.
Yeah,
I believe it was a prequel. Yeah.
yeah. Kingdom Hearts 4 definitely needs like a before you play like video or something.
Yes, they did that for Kingdom Hearts 3, so I'm hoping they do it for Kingdom Hearts 4 as well. They need to do
Yeah,
a compilation of the important parts of Union Cross and Missing Link, and then I think it'll be okay. Well, obviously the other games too, but mostly Union Cross and Missing Link.
yeah.
And maybe Dark Road if they want to.
I mean, I'll watch YouTube videos. Like I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. I don't need that for them. Like I'll just do it myself, the research. But
Yeah.
yeah, for other people though, they're not gonna do all that. So is there everything else for Kingdom Hearts 4 you want to talk about, or we can get into the anime?
I think we get into the anime. I think I've said most. Basically, I'm really excited. Coco's a great fit thematically. I'm going to cry a lot at the end.
Yeah, well said. So we'll get into the anime, which is a big surprise. So
I thought this was rumored for a while. Am I making shit up?
there was a rumor there's a show, but I never heard the word anime. Like,
Oh, fair, fair.
um, yeah. So is an anime series that's completely unexpected, double reveal, and it was announced it's coming to Disney Plus and the Disney Channel, and it's in active development. And Nomura is in charge of it, and he's heavily involved in it. And it's billed as a reimagining. It will expand the franchise universe with a brand new narrative celebrating the series' core cast. There's no release window or anything on it, so who knows when that's going to be. People are speculating it's that blonde guy. I don't know his name.
I have no
Um,
idea who the fuck it is either.
I saw the name on Twitter. I don't remember off the top of my head, but someone colored it using his hair and like the whole outfit, and it matched perfectly. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
certain it's gonna be that character that I sent you. I just don't know his name.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know his name either.
oh yeah, if you don't know, then when nobody knows at this point.
Yeah.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know who that is. I think they're doing a multiverse thing where or maybe they're starting at the beginning and they're gonna work their way up, or I don't
yeah.
fucking know.
I mean, time travel was already done in the series. I guess multiverse is the next thing for this franchise, and
Yep.
it's all the rage in
Um,
Marvel. It's
I
a
hope
good
I get to see Mike Wazowski fight Xehanort. That'd be
maybe
fucking
maybe
awesome.
this is how they tie in Marvel, and like Doctor Strange shows up, and
There you
so
go.
it's a whole thing.
Sora coming to Fortnite when?
Should be like relatively soon because they showed it what he looks like in Fortnite, like in the back, like on a poster or something.
Yeah, yeah. I heard the rumors about that.
Yeah. So if Sora's in Fortnite, then Kingdom Hearts is here. Kingdom Hearts is a big
Yeah.
franchise now.
God, I can finally tell the kids about Kingdom Hearts, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah,
It's
like
the
in
guy from
Fortnite." And
Fortnite.
I mean, that'll crush
That's the guy
that'll
from
crush my
Fortnite.
soul. It'll
Yeah.
crush my soul. Like at least they'll fucking know who Sora is.
Yeah, my students view him as the guy from Smash Brothers. Now they're gonna view him as the guy from Fortnite.
Yeah. So
So I guess it's better than nothing.
yeah, it's better than nothing. I mean, I feel like Smash Brothers is better than Fortnite, but it's all better than nothing.
Yeah, like being a Kingdom Hearts fan feels like you're like locked in an attic and you're like living off crumbs. You just take whatever you can get.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's just it's amazing how much shit we're getting. We're getting an anime. We got 2 trailers
A
in
whole
within the
yeah.
span of 2 days, plus the trailer at Nintendo. For Kingdom Hearts fans, this is like a buffet just opened up next door, and it's all you can eat for free
They
for like
finally
5 minutes.
they finally let us out of the attic. They finally opened the hatch. They let us go in
That's right.
they let us go in the fridge for like 5
That's right.
minutes.
Yes, for 5 minutes. For any other franchise, this would be pitiful. This would be sad. For us, this is like
A
this is our
celebration.
lifeblood. This is like we're just the pigs. We're just eating the slop. We're just like, yes, yes, give me more, please,
Just give us
Disney,
anything.
please.
They could have just
Any fucking
they
thing.
could have just gave us a screenshot. We would have like overanalyzed the screenshot.
Yes. We would I would have we did do that in one episode when Nomura did that. Um
What does it
so
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
I also want to say release date stuff. Tai Yasue, one of the directors of the project, said it's not 80%, it's not 90%, 100%. It's coming out in 2027. And then somebody on Blue Sky said Nomura said the same. I don't know where, but that allegedly. So I mean, I know we've been here before, friends. I know we've been burned by other game directors saying the same shit and then gets delayed. I already saw snarky comments on Blue Sky like, "Oh, I'm saving this comment." Or whatever. But like I think that they know where they're at. It looks clean, it looks polished, the gameplay looks done. I mean, and they're still going to do another year and a half of polish. Like that's gonna be done. Like
Yeah. It feels
that's
done.
done.
It feels done to
Yeah.
me.
It feels done as it is.
There's too much advertisement. There's too much confidence. Like it just feels like it's ready to go. Like or like it's close. And they'll probably be done like maybe in the summer or something. Like I don't know. Like it just it. I'm very confident it's not getting delayed. Like
Yeah.
Like I know
Well, I think late 2027 is such a safe date too. Like I
yeah.
feel the funniest possible thing they could do is announce it for November 19th at Tokyo Game Show and then say 2027 instead of 2026. And I would laugh so hard because it would be a really funny troll. But I don't know. I think we are gonna see it October, November of next year. Um I I mean it's gonna be it's my GTA 6, basically. Like I'm so excited. I'm obviously day one. It could get shit reviews, and I'd probably be day one. Which it's one of the few game franchises I could say that about. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not super happy with Square Enix and where they're at with AI and bullshit right now. But I gotta support my boy
Kind
Sora,
yeah.
and not that Sora, this Sora, the Sora with the Keyblade.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm just excited. It's just a great time to be a Kingdom Hearts fan. We are getting fed the absolute minimum and loving it.
Yep. Another Kingdom Hearts 3 came out the same week as Resident Evil 2 remake. Kingdom Hearts 4 will come out the same year as Code Veronica remake. So,
And it will also come out the same year as Final Fantasy VII trilogy
yeah,
concludes. So
the
it's
year
really going to be the year of Square Enix.
the year of Nomura,
The
especially.
year of Nomura too. That man, God, he's going to be so. He has been so busy. Clearly,
I wonder what the next plan is after Kingdom Hearts 4 and 7 are done. Final Fantasy 7 are done. Like, what does Nomura do next?
I don't know.
That's the
I presume he launches an uprising within Square Enix and finally gets to do his Final Fantasy game that he wanted to do 10 years ago.
yeah.
Because
Now,
that man can't let it go.
with that said, I hope Kingdom Hearts 4 is somewhat of a conclusion or something like that for like the main characters because I do think it will get stale if Sora's constantly like losing his friends and then they have to go find them and then they
Yeah.
reunite and then
It
someone
is
gets locked
basically
away.
the plot of every single Kingdom Hearts
Yeah,
game.
like it's time to like introduce new people. Like the franchise has so much potential because you can always have a limited amount of Disney characters and things like that. But I do think you have to like you can keep using Sora, but stop doing the plot where like they can't find him or he can't find his friends like
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
I do think they're gonna resolve that particular plot line in this one. I don't know where we go from here. Is this the Master of Master saga and that becomes the new villain? I don't know. Um I guessing that one of the ways that they want to mix things up is having the Disney characters as your party members instead of Donald and Goofy. So that's cool. I also think Strelitzia and Sigurd and the other guy whose name I can't remember is going to be important to the story going forward. Strelitzia is also Marluxia's sister, so I presume he comes back into the narrative at some point.
Yeah,
So yeah, there's a lot of dangling threads and
yeah.
questions. We'll see. The great thing about Kingdom Hearts slash the worst thing about it is that 15 of those dangling threads will be answered conclusively. 30 more will be opened up. So
Exactly. Cause like, are we gonna see Roxas or any of the other characters? Aqua, like,
I really think they're done. I really think that was the conclusion to the second trio, and Terra and Aqua, and I think that's it for all of them.
so you think
And
so you think the series is mostly going to be Sora,
I think it's mostly going to
Riku,
be Sora, but I do think that
and
they're going to
Riku?
start moving away from just featuring him, and we're going to get more
Yeah,
about Strelitzia and Sigurd, and they're going to become more important characters too.
yeah.
I I wouldn't be surprised if eventually Riku takes over. I mean, I feel like Sora is just not. Riku became a Keyblade master before Sora did. I feel like Sora is just not in it to win it as much as Riku is, but I don't know.
Do you feel like it was kind of special when Sora was the Keyblade warrior only, and now like everybody has a Keyblade. Like it's like everybody has a
Yeah,
lightsaber.
it's the fucking Jedi problem.
Yeah,
Now everybody has a Keyblade and the value is diminished. I do agree that that's an issue. It's a little better now that the second trio of Aqua, Terra, and Ven are gone, and Roxas is also gone. But at the same time, it's like there's still a lot of people throw out here throwing Keyblades, and it just makes Sora feel a little less special. I don't mind if Riku has it, of course. I don't mind if Kyrie has it. But I just wish it would stick to those three and maybe Mickey every now and then. But everybody else having it too. I don't know. I'm
that's what I'm
expecting
saying.
Master of
Yeah,
Masters to whip out a Keyblade any second now.
yeah. But that's everything I think.
Yeah.
Because we'll go like another 5 hours talking about
Yeah,
Kingdom
we
Hearts.
could go for hours about this.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for watching, everybody. Next week, I'm going to be talking about Dusk Fade, which is really good so far, and
And
Dory
Kingdom Hearts inspired.
and Kingdom Hearts inspired, very Kingdom Hearts inspired, but more so like Jack and Daxter,
Yeah.
PS2 platformer inspired. The only thing the game has in common really with Kingdom Hearts is just that the way he holds the sword, and his
Yeah.
face is very Sora with the blue eyes and his
I
expressions.
think I think the HUD is
The
very similar too, the way that they
Yeah,
display the health.
and the
Yeah,
HUD
the
is
UI.
very Kingdom Hearts, but
Yeah,
otherwise, that game has nothing in common. It's very much so a
sure.
platformer first. It's not an action RPG. So yeah, I'll talk about that. Is there anything you're gonna be playing this week?
I am planning on beating, God help me, Beast of Reincarnation, and then I'm also my finals for school are almost done. Summer camp's almost done. I am about to have so much free time on my hands for at least a week before I go on vacation to Maine. So I am going to be this week. I still have camp the upcoming week, but I don't have school, so I'll have so much more energy and time to play video games. I'll still be exhausted after camp, but at least I won't have to worry about school too. So I am planning on beating Beast of Reincarnation, just because I just want to see how it ends. And then also I am going to probably start that Mafia DLC and see what that's all about. It's also my 12 for 12. I am at Chrono Trigger, so I am probably going to start Chrono Trigger not this upcoming week, but the week after my birthday week, which is the 24th. So looking forward to that.
All right. I hope everybody has a great night and a great week, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.